Hello, BookTube. Welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and I've got a bit of a book haul for you, a library book sale haul. And I thought I would quickly give you a little bit of a life update in case you saw my tweet last night from the emergency room, and just kind of catch you up to date on what's been happening with me and with our family. So I told you in my Friday reads that I had had a very hectic week leading up to Book Bowl, which was Thursday. It was very tiring, but a lot of fun, a very successful event at Katie's former middle school. And then Friday, I normally try to sub a half a day, and before that I drive the lady that I take on errands, but both of those fell through. I didn't have to do either of those things on Friday, so I had some R&R. I had some rest and reading time, and that was wonderful because little did I know what a big weekend I was going to be having. So Saturday morning, I dropped Katie at her school. She had an all-day practice. They're doing Beauty and the Beast. She's in the chorus, so she was looking forward to that. And of course, my husband works on Saturdays. So Emily and I are, we were going to be left to ourselves. And I thought, well, I could sit home and read. That would be great. But why not see if there's any book sales going on? So I got online quickly to the Book Sale Finder website, which is an awesome resource for locating library book sales, and discovered that there was a library in North Tampa that I'd never been to that was advertising a big sale. So I quickly typed in the address in my phone, and then we left. We dropped off Katie and said, all right, Emily, we're going to a book sale. And we drove a little over an hour to get to this book sale, and it was fantastic. It was very crowded, but I found, I think, about 14 books. They were 50 cents a book, and I will show you what I got in just a few minutes. Then also, I went to the main Tampa library downtown because the second Saturday of every month, they open up their kind of a warehouse room down on the right off the loading dock, and once a month you can go in and shop from all of their excess books that have not made it upstairs to their bookstore. So we had just enough time to do that and fly back to pick up Katie, and not literally fly, but we did have to, maintain a pretty good speed. So we picked up Katie and, picked up some food. Randy was going to be working till 9:30. So I thought, okay, we'll go home, we'll rest, we'll eat dinner, we'll read and do laundry and all that. About 8:15, Emily was pacing around. I did not see the seizure coming. I sort of knew that she was overdue for one, but I was just a few feet away from her, and they just happened so fast. She was in the kitchen and just went straight down and landed backwards, smacked her head on the floor. We don't have a crawl space. We have a concrete floor with just a little layer of linoleum over the top. So when I rolled her over to make sure that she wasn't choking, there was a pool of blood on the floor under her head. So needless to say, we ended up in the ER, and several hours later, she came out of there with 5 staples in the back of her head. And so, of course, when Randy got off work, he came straight to the hospital, and so he was there, and it all went pretty smoothly. But I was reminded that it was time change night, so we didn't get out of the hospital till a little after midnight. And of course, the time change was coming, and you may recall that I have scheduled every Sunday morning from 5 to 8 or 8:30 during March Mystery Madness. That is one of my sprint times. So usually early Sunday morning is a really good time for me to read because we don't have to be at church until 9:30 for Sunday school. And so if I can get up early before the rest of the family, because they're usually, sleeping in if they can, then I have some good reading time. So that was the time I scheduled for my sprints. So you can only imagine getting home a little after midnight. Time changes, we spring forward, and then, so instead of getting up at 5, it was really like getting up at 4 and trying to read after all of that. You can imagine that I was dozing off. I was falling asleep. I did get through all the sprints, and I had 3 or 4 or 5 people that were reading with me. And so if you guys are watching this, thank you so much for being there and helping me not to give up and helping me stay awake some. I actually got a few pages read, and I also, when the rest of the family started getting up, I switched to an audiobook and made breakfast and all that stuff. So it turned out to be a good morning. Of course, then we got ready for church, and Emily had another seizure just before church time. So Katie went on to Sunday school. Randy had already gone to work. And then Katie came home after Sunday school and stayed with Emily, who was still asleep. And I went to church. So it worked out. And now here we are. It is probably 2 p.m. or a little after. And I'm supposed to lead my next sprint session at 3 p.m. in my time, Eastern time. And I thought, if I'm going to do a video, I need to get it done now. So here I am, and I wanted to show you the books that I got. I think I'll start with the bigger library sale. I have my bag here. I got 14 books, and they were 50 cents each. They did have a few books that were like bigger coffee table type books that were $2, $3, and $4. Some of those I didn't get any of those. I almost did. There was one from it was about the Jim Henson Creature Shop, and it was $4, and I almost got it, but I didn't. I put it back. So here we go. Some of these I don't know anything about. Some I've seen before. A couple of them are for other people, and at least one of them is to replace is a better copy to replace something off my shelf. This is really the only one that I'd never seen before, but I picked it up because I thought it sounded like it's going to be hilarious. It's called The Search Committee by Tim Owens, and it is a Christian fiction book about a pastor search committee, and I'm sure this is going to be funny. I have served on a pastor search committee before. I mean, and it is serious business, but I'm sure that there's plenty of room for some fun to be had in this book. So looking forward to that. Then I picked up two because I had seen one of these at Dollar Tree a while back, and I didn't get it. I think it was this one, Big Stone Gap. What drew me to it was kind of the cover and the blurb and everything, and then on the back it's got a blurb by Fannie Flagg, who is one of my all-time favorite authors. So this is the first book. I forgot to look and see how many there were in the series. This is the second book, Big Cherry Holler, and anytime you spell hollow as holler, you know it's going to be something that I'm going to like. So we have Big Stone Gap and Big Cherry Holler by Adriana Trigiani or Trigiani. I think I said that right. So they're pretty short, and I think those will be good. Then I picked up the third book in the Half-Stitched Amish Quilting Club series by Wanda Brunstetter called The Healing Quilt. I have the first two in this series. I haven't read any of them. And I don't know, I've been buying a lot of Amish books lately, and I haven't read an Amish book in I don't know when, but I don't know, they just keep drawing me in. I picked this one up, An Amish Market by Amy Clipston, Kathleen Fuller, Kelly Irwin, and Vanetta Chapman. So that's going to be 4 short stories in there. And this one is the third book in the Testing trilogy by Joelle Charbonneau. It's called Graduation Day. I've read The Testing. It was one of our Sunshine State books 2 or 3 years ago, and I have not read books 2 and 3. And this is book 3, so I still need to read book 2, but I haven't seen these anywhere in a used book situation, so I went ahead and grabbed it while I had the opportunity. Katie was wanting to read the second and third one and checked them out from the library at one point and then never got them read. So at some point she'll probably come back to those. I picked this up because it looked really interesting. I may send this to someone if my husband doesn't want it for eBay. It is called The Battle of Caporetto by Cyril Falls. It is part of the Great Battles of History series, Hanson W. Baldwin, editor, and I think this takes place in World War I. So it's got also a list of other books in that series, and it's not anything that I will read, but like I said, if my husband doesn't want it for eBay, I have in mind someone to send it to. This is another one I thought he might like to put on eBay because John Maxwell is a very popular author, The Laws of Leadership. And then I picked this up for a friend of a friend. I just finished it, but I was just telling him about it. He said he liked to read Westerns. I said, oh, have you read Lonesome Dove? He goes, no, I've seen the movie. And I said, oh, you got to read the book. So I found this for, 50 cents. You can't beat it. And, of course, it's by Larry McMurtry. Then this is the one I got to replace one on my shelf. Welcome to the World, Baby Girl by Fannie Flagg. This is the first book in the Elmwood Springs series. I don't recommend reading it first, but it is the first book chronologically. And you can see that the copy I have is the short copy, the book club edition, and all my other Fannie Flagg books, well, except for those, are tall hardcovers. So I needed to get the one that would match my series, of course. And then I got a few paperbacks. I picked up Clan of the Cave Bear for a friend of mine who was looking for it. And then a couple of romances. I'm interested in this series by Emily March. It's the Eternity Springs series. Sarah from Not Just Romance Novels has talked about Emily March. And so I got a Stardance Summer. It is book 13 in the series. I didn't know the numbers when I picked them up. I just checked my book catalog and I knew I didn't have these. And this is 12, Christmas in Eternity Springs. I don't know if you have to read these in order or not. Maybe, Sarah, if you watch this, if you could tell me if I need to read them in order. And then I did find one cozy mystery, Dead to the Last Drop by Cleo Coyle. This is book 15 in the Coffee House Mystery Series. And speaking of cozy mysteries, if you missed my, oh, I thought I put it in here. I did buy a cozy mystery from a local bookstore in St. Pete. And I think I included this in my Friday Reads, but in case you are a watcher of book hauls and not Friday Reads videos, this is Pain and Suffering by Cheryl Holland. It is, I believe, the first book in the Webb's Glass Shop Mystery, which takes place in St. Pete, and that's where I bought the book, at a bookstore in St. Pete, and this is an autographed copy. So that's pretty cool. And then I'll show you the autograph. And then I mentioned that I went to the main library in Tampa, and I believe each of these books were $1.50. That's about their standard price for hardcover books at the main Tampa library. So I did get a couple of cozies, Aunt Dimity and the Village Witch. Of course, Aunt Dimity is by Nancy Atherton. And then I don't know if this is considered cozy or not. It's a Thursday Next novel called First Among Sequels by Jasper Fforde. I'm still looking for the first book in hardcover. I found it a couple of times in softcover, but all my other copies are hardcover, so I'm holding out. And then I wasn't sure if I had this one or not. This is Celebrations at Thrush Green by Miss Reed. I got home and found that I do have it, so Linda Kay, this one's coming your way. And I guess that's it. So that is my book haul. I will be coming back very soon. Hopefully tomorrow. I might go ahead and film today a couple more videos. I would like to do another video or two on some of the cozy mysteries that I'm reading, and also about some of the mysteries that I'm reading, some of the series I'm reading that I'm enjoying that are not cozy. You know, I do read a few that are a little more gritty, and I want to tell you about my top 3 series that I'm enjoying, that I've been reading for a while. And so those will be coming up later in the week. So for now, that's all I have for this video, and Emily is doing fine. She is pacing around right now, so I have all the exits blocked and all of that, but she seems to be doing well and does not seem to be having any pain from her head injury, and she is wearing her helmet now. And so I guess that's it for this video. I hope you are having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.